the NFL ever come knocking on your door?
I had a chance to go to camp.
Which camp?
I had calls from New England. I had the WFL, the CFL. They were all in full swing at the time, and I had chances to go to camp there too.
But
I just never. It was never even something I thought about. It was just it was time to move on to something else, and this ended up being it.
why? I mean, did you not want to play football professionally?
I think when you do something, as long as you do something like that,
Right.
and it's always hard to say goodbye to it. But I never had aspirations for that. I played with a lot of guys who did. 22 guys off the team I played on went on to some sort of a pro career. Some of them were shorter than others.
who was the best, I guess, that you played with at UCLA?
Jimmy Allen, maybe. Kermit Johnson, James McAllister. Those guys all had Randy Cross. Those guys all had bigger pro careers than some others.
Who was your coach at the time?
At the time, it was Pepper Rogers. My position coach was Homer Smith.
And this was just pre-Vermeil there at UCLA?
It was.
Pretty much?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 year before.
So it's interesting, Mark Harmon here on the Rich Eisen Show, because the conversation about the current UCLA quarterback going to the next level, Josh Rosen, have you ever met him?
Never.
Okay. But the conversation about him is that he has too many interests other than football. In the same way that you obviously were not somebody that was all about football, which is fascinating since your dad had a terrific football life. So what do you think when you hear that Josh Rosen might not be a quality professional or a top pick because he might have other interests?
I think that's kind of up to Josh Rosen, and I think people judge and people have opinions, and they're right, I guess. But it's a lot different for the person taking the snap. From where he stands and for what is ahead for him and what his goals are and what he's wanted to do for maybe all his life. I think he's in a pretty good position, and I look forward to seeing what next year is for him and how he'll accomplish that dream. So many have that dream, and so few have an opportunity, and he'll certainly get that opportunity. So I just hope it's in a place and with a coaching staff where he doesn't get hit as much as he's been hit the last couple of years.
Yes, I know, and the beating that he has taken sometimes to me proves that he's a guy who wants it. Not just the fact that he has it because I guess he's doing it as a hobby. It's kind of crazy, Mark Harmon here on the show, because to me, again, just because he has other interests, just because he asks why instead of says okay, to me means he wants to be collaborative. Did you ever ask why something is?
Sure, all the time.
Of your coaches?
We were running what was a relatively new offense, and so asking questions was part of how you learned it. And like I said, my position coach was Homer Smith, and he was a guy that early on, that's the only way you learned is to ask questions, and the only way you learned is to make mistakes. Sometimes you learn so much more from mistakes than you do from something that's good. But I just think that's about growth. I don't find a harm in that, and I think it's very easy to be critical and have an opinion, which is your right. But believe me, it just looks a lot different from where he's standing.
Right.
And you watch a game on a Saturday from your living room, and you see a quarterback throw a ball and hit a free safety right in the chest with the ball, and he goes, come on, I could do better than that. I said, well, I guarantee you, it looks much different from where he's standing from where you are.
Right.
And I think that has to do with people who have played and people who haven't, and there's a big difference.
What's the hardest you've ever been hit?
What's that?
What's the hardest you've ever been hit?
Oh, I don't know about hardest. I just know that the step up from Pop Warner to high school, from high school to college was extreme, and the speed was an extreme difference, and that's what I think most about. I don't know that actually the impact was what I thought about, but we ran the wishbone, so I got hit a lot. That was part of the offense. So, I think I probably got hit more than Josh did, but he got hit plenty, and hopefully in the next level he won't be.
Does that mean you've always done your own stunts too?
No, it does not. There's a thing called stuntman, and they're really good at what they do. And so I'm really eager to step aside if that's their job.
You took your hits in Westwood.
Well, not even that.
Or
It's just
Pasadena.
I look at it like it's taking a job away from somebody else. So I don't try to take people's job.
Look at you. You're a team player. There is no I in Mark Harmon.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.